Hey there, what's up, y'all? I'm John Doherty. I'm the founder here at Editor Ninja. Welcome to today's training. Today, I want to show you a framework that I actually learned a number of years ago. I was working on Credo, and we had built out a product. Credo's was the other company that I founded, and we had built out our product. It was a marketplace, kind of an escrow marketplace, and we had rolled it out in August, September of that year, and we reached about December, and I was just like, man, why does everything feel so hard? Like things just felt really, really hard. And I started talking to my colleague at the time, Phillip, who was an incredible operator and just love the guy to death. Was literally like texting with him today about some like tax stuff. And Phil showed me this process that he goes through, and he may have actually just like made it up on the fly. I think actually we were having lunch a few months ago, and he told me that he was like, "Yeah, we just tried this and it worked." But it really helped me to understand, because I'm a visual person, helped me to understand why things felt so difficult. And so I want to introduce it to you today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share my iPad. So this is my obviously my iPad, and it's an iPad Pro, and I'm using an app called Notability, and moving some things around on the screen. So basically, what I call this is the stoplight system for identifying bottlenecks. You can use this for any part of a business, but I specifically want to talk about identifying bottlenecks within a content production process. So the typical content production process, there's really like 5 main steps to it. There are probably some other like sub steps, and maybe there's another like step somewhere else, but probably at the start with called budgeting. But what I want to do is I'm just going to draw you a timeline, right? I'm actually going to move that over for us, just so I have a little bit more space. And basically, as I said, there are five parts to it. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, right? I'm just going to put it continuing. So number 1 is strategy, right? So you put together the strategy of the content that you're going to be producing. Number 2 is create / write, So this is where, you have freelancers, or you're writing it yourself, or whatever. Number 3 is editing, right? Is after it's drafted and it's being cleaned up, it's being made ready. Number 4 is publishing. So the actual publishing of it, putting it into your CMS, formatting it, adding images, all that good stuff. And then number 5 is promo. So when we did this and this is me going a little acapella from my prepared kind of format. When we did this at Credo, basically we went through and we outlined all of the steps in the process. And then we went through and we said, okay, how well do we feel like this is, working? And so it was like step 1 is like boom, step 2 is boom, step 3 is like, yeah, probably green, but actually like that one's more like a light green, because it's kind of like a greenish yellow. And then we got into like, all right, this part is like pretty like yellow, but then actually like these last two, let me get those back, are these are red, right? And it was like, oh my gosh, I now fully understand why this feels so hard. So you can do the same thing in your content production process. So, maybe you're a strategist yourself, right? You're the content manager, you're the director of content or something like that. And so like strategy, you're like, yo, I am super confident in our strategy. Creating and writing, like, that one is actually like, it's pretty good, but I have a hard time like finding, time for it. And so I'm going to put that like a green yellow, because like it feels kind of hard, right? And we're not getting as much content because I don't have as much time. Editing, like that one is actually red, because I hate editing. It takes me forever, whatever that is that you're telling yourself. And of course, like any of these can be flipped based off of your own, your own experience and your own strengths. And then, maybe publishing is, that one's light green as well, right? So that's like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's pretty good. And then promo, yo, I freaking love promo. We've got our process fully dialed, right? So you can see here, you could also, I mean, there's so many different like permutations to it. Like maybe you're great at the strategy side, But like creating and writing is yellow because like you just don't have enough time or your freelancers aren't that good. Maybe editing is yellow. Maybe publishing, is green because you're like, oh, that's easy. I actually really like doing that stuff. And I know WordPress and formatting is great. But then promo is yellow. So what do we do with this? Obviously, to have a successful content program, we have to we knock down the dominoes, right? Alex Hormozy of acquisition.com, Gem Launch, etc., talks about like what are the areas that are really going to like unblock you the most. He was talking about sales in a recent podcast. He was like, say 50% of people get to step one, but then only 5% get to step two, but then you close 50% of those people, right? So like moving like these two 50s to 60% is only going to increase your business by about 20%. But if you can move this 5 to 15, you're going to triple your business, right? So so really what we want to do is we want to unblock all of these. We want to unblock the get the red things to yellow first, and then yellow to green. If we can go red to green, of course, that's amazing. So where I start is saying like, okay, if we're going to, really increase or improve content that is being created, right? Actually, let's start here at number one. Let's start with editing, right? In this top one. So let's start with editing and find someone else to edit, right? Obviously, Editor Ninja, we edit content, especially marketing content for marketing teams and content agencies. So let's turn that one, let's actually get that one to, at least this like yellowish greenish, right? So that's number one. And then number two, let's go here because no one is going to grow their business. You're not going to, if you turn this yellowish greenish one into a dark green, right? That it's really dialed, but editing is still red. You're not going to want to do this one because that you still have this, right? You still have the editing is red, and it's just going to cause you a lot of stress, right? So that's number two is, in this case, fixing that. And then number three is optimizing your publishing process, right? So, and then if we do that, then, ideally, at the end, and I'm actually going to go ahead and just like copy this whole thing. And I'm going to paste it here, scoot that over, and get all of that out. So if you've solved this well, right, you've knocked down, remember, you're knocked down number one, then you're knocked down number two, then you're knocking down number three. Then the goal is we're at everything is green, right? But it's going to start with, you've got green, and then you have this like greenish yellow that is pretty good. But this one is now green, and I believe we had that one that's the like yellowish green here, and then we have dark green here, right? And then you go to dark green, dark green, dark green, dark green in promo to here, right? And you just knock it down like that. So this is a great way to think about your content and your content production process, and identifying where the real bottlenecks are so you can actually grow. You can actually go and grow it. So I hope that helps you out. I'm John Doherty. I'm the founder here at editorninja.com. I'm a veteran content marketer, SEO, and digital marketer, digital marketing leader. If you've identified that you have a bottleneck in your editing process, come talk to us. Editorninja.com/demo is where you can book an editorial assessment with me personally. We'll talk about your needs. We'll talk about your business. We'll talk about your process, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. We'd love to help you out. So thanks for watching. Talk to you later.